Hey everyone, as you probably know, Siege system has been changed with 7.0 patch note. So in today's video, I will going to talk about how to play Siege in 7.0 patch note and in generally how to get better rewards from Sieges. So first things first, I have here lots of comments that we actually have free Sieges at the same time, but guys, we don't have free Sieges at the same time. The reason is simple. We have start of the siege at 9 o'clock in the evening Central European time, but only Dumaha siege and Lakrum Fort siege starts at that time. Divine Fort siege, maybe some of you probably know that, starts actually at 9:30. So on the start of the siege, this is one of the things you should first get in consideration, that basically you have a choice at the start to go either to Dumaha Fort or to the Lakrum Fort. Now that decision should be made based on a few different informations which you need to gather actually before the start of the siege. Let's say 15 minutes before the start of the siege, just open your LFG channel on your server. It doesn't matter where you play, and check what is happening. Where are people going? Which leagues, alliances are made, and in generally, where is your faction going to focus on which fort? Depending on that, you can make a right decision where you will go. It doesn't matter are you playing solo or in group or in ally. Of course, you know that if you play solo, you will probably get higher rewards in the siege. However, like I said, it doesn't matter are you playing solo or in group ally. Before the start of the siege, to make right decision where to go, you need to have more information what is happening in generally on your server. Also, one really more important thing which you need to take in consideration is which faction that day owns that particular fort, and will your faction take it or lose it at that day. Because for example, if your faction that day is attacking Lakru Fort and it will take it, and you see that situation is like that developing, that you will probably get that fort that day, then you should stay there probably to make more DPS, to destroy gates, to make more contribution points, because the rewards from that siege will be higher. However, if your faction, for example, owns Lakrum Fort that day, that evening, and you will lose it that day, then you know basically that you will receive very low reward from that fort, low honor points in generally, so no need to stay there. Just make a basic contribution, kill a few Ilios or a few Osmos, doesn't matter, and go away somewhere else. So at the start of the siege, you need to make that decision. Will you go Lakrum Fort or Dumaha Fort? And to make that decision again, first thing which should be really good for you is that you participate somewhere on some voice channels, maybe somewhere on TeamSpeak or Discord. I don't know which you use more. In Aion probably use TeamSpeak, but lots of legions now also have Discord channels. It doesn't matter. It would be really good that you are somewhere just listening. You don't need to talk much, but basically it would be really good for you that you hear informations what is happening actually in how to say, in real time in these forts after the siege starts, because people will split. People will not go at the same fort, everybody, right? Somebody will go here, somebody will go there, and you can hear some really useful informations on the TeamSpeak or Discord. You can hear on how much percent is some boss, you can hear on how much percent is some gates somewhere on another fort, and depending on that information, you can make a right decision. You can make decision where you want to go, where your group want to go, or even your ally where you will go. So these things are really important, because if you want to make a right decision to get more honor points and rewards in siege, you need all these informations to get together, and you can do that, like I said, by checking what's happening on your server in generally on LFG, or you can just open 15 minutes before siege. You can open your find group box, right? And you can see here now it's empty. It's during day now. However, you can check on this box which alliances groups are made, and where are people actually going at the start of the siege. Now, like I said, in 2130, you want to be in lock room, and you want to use port to go to the divine fort. Regarding divine fort, there is important things to say. First of all, you need to break gates. Of course, there are two gates to enter the boss room. And after you do that, you need to make decision: should you leave or should you stay there? Now, I know what you think. It is logical to stay to the end to hit the boss. However, there is something else which you need to consider. For example, if your faction is going to lose, actually not, I will not say lose because it belongs to Balor, Divine Fort, but I will say if your faction is not going to take that fort, Divine Fort, that day, then probably after you hit the doors, both doors, you should leave from there because you will get anyway low rewards from that fort. However, if your faction will take that fort that evening, if you see that situation is developing in that direction, then you should maybe stay to make some DPS on the boss, because rewards from that fort, Divine Fort, that evening, when your faction is going to take it, will be higher and better. So maybe you should consider also that fact when you are going into the Divine Fort siege. So like I said, if you see that you are going to lose, you're not going to take over that fort, Divine Fort, maybe don't waste time anymore there, because another thing which you need to know is that Dumaha Fort siege is over in 9 o'clock 45 minutes. And also, let me just mention this while I mention Dumaha Fort. Lakrum siege is over in 9 o'clock 55 minutes. So basically, Dumaha Fort siege is a pretty short one. You will have only 45 minutes time from 9 o'clock to 9:45, and you are still probably in the Divine Fort. So you probably want to go to Dumaha Fort right now if you haven't been in Dumaha Fort before, to make some contribution points. Don't forget, after Dumaha Fort siege is over, you still have 10 minutes time to go to Lakrum, right? If it's still siege is up, if still siege is not over, you still have time until 9 o'clock 55 minutes to go into Lakrum Fort and maybe to kill a few Ilios, few Osmos, make some contribution points to take rewards from that fort. So basically, guys, like I said, there is many things to consider when we go in sieges now in 7.0 patch note. But like I mentioned before, you should be somewhere maybe on TeamSpeak or Discord, and maybe part of some alliance group, whatever, to gather more information what is happening actually during the siege time. Of course, before the siege time, let's say few minutes, but especially during the siege time. You need informations like how much is percent one boss on some fort, or how much percent is some gates on some fort or something. And on that way, you can really make a correct decision where to go at a certain point at time. Also, you need to know, like I said, that we actually don't have like all free sieges from 9 o'clock. In the 9 o'clock, we have start of Dumaha siege and the Lakrum siege. Dumaha siege lasts from 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock 45 minutes. A Lakrum siege lasts from 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock 55 minutes. And Divine Fort starts at 9:30 and probably lasts for 10-15 minutes, because that boss is not easy to kill, but it's easier to kill than other two bosses. So take all that in consideration. And of course, don't forget, yeah, we all know that we take more honor points and higher rewards if we play solo, not in group, not in ally. However, it's easier on one way to play in allies, leagues, or groups, because on that way you can coordinate with other people and then again take rewards from all forts, maybe like that on that way. However, like I said, it is possible also to play solo without any problem. I am playing with lots of people in Legion, and I am also playing solo most of the sieges, and it is possible to play solo and to take rewards from all forts. However, then you need to have right information, what is happening before the siege and what is happening during the siege, so you can make a correct decision where to go. So that's it, guys, for today's video. I hope I have helped you a little bit with these informations. Maybe you have already known all this, maybe you didn't know some information regarding the siege. In the weeks to come, we will learn more about how to play siege right in this 7.0 patch note. But this is at least from my perspective today how we should play sieges in 7.0. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have liked it, share it and subscribe to my channel to see more videos in the future. See you soon.